Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of the Yes She Can project. I am absolutely delighted to be joined today by the gorgeous Aliza. Hello Aliza.
Hi Michelle, how are you?
Not too bad, thank you. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. Very excited to be with you.
Oh, thank you very much. So for anybody who is wondering and who doesn't know you, would you be able to give us a brief introduction about who you are and what you do?
Briefly, my name is Aliza Reger. My family business is Janet Reger. My mother was Janet Reger, the lingerie entrepreneur, and really the woman who put beautiful lingerie on the British High Street.
Yeah,
she made beautiful lingerie a thing.
Absolutely.
That's a thing, because before, the late 60s, lingerie was a very functional thing. So my mother made the whole underwear industry really what it is today.
Wow, that's incredible. Like you say, if it was just functionality before, she was a pioneer in her field then, wasn't she?
There was a few very, very tiny Italian companies, a few French companies making very beautiful and very expensive lingerie for a tiny elite.
Yeah.
That did also, when she started, make for an elite, because it was a very expensive product and it was a very exclusive product. But she somehow democratized it, because it became something that you aspired to and that you got for your 21st, for your 18th, for your engagement, for a Christmas, for a birthday. Mm-hmm. It was something that you had to have.
Okay, so in those terms, you were only ever gifted something like that because it was so luxurious and not a lot of people could afford.
And self-gifted.
Okay.
My mother was the first person to, well, not the first, but certainly the first lingerie designer that was who was making lingerie for women to buy for themselves.
Okay.
She was very strong she was a very forceful woman, believed very strongly in women's rights and women's liberation. We were talking late 60s, 70s here.
Yeah.
And she said women's liberation is not about burning your bra, because this was the height of burning your bra time.
Okay.
She said women's liberation is not about burning your bra. Women's liberation is about earning your own money to buy your own bra.
Wow, definitely. So it's almost like we talk a lot about self-care and things like that nowadays, don't we? So she was instrumental really in beginning that mindset of gifting yourself something because you are worth having nice things almost.
And wearing beautiful things. And she said, if you're wearing beautiful lingerie, you feel better about yourself.
Yeah, definitely.
May work in a job where we have to wear a uniform, but you can wear some beautiful, colourful lingerie underneath. And she was the first person to really play with colour and make colour a statement.
Wow.
And mix colours up.
Yeah. Had it always been a part of her life? Was it something she was always interested in?
Well, she was very young when she started, and I was telling somebody else, my grandfather he was quite a clever man, he was very entrepreneurial. He acquired a load of parachute silk after the war.
Wow.
And and he was making lingerie for then the company that was Littlewoods.
Oh, no way.
So that's how the whole thing sort of started and snowballed from there. And then she did an underwear course. She did underwear design and contouring at Demont University, but it was then Leicester Polytechnic.
Yeah.
And that's where it started from. And then she was freelancing, and she was freelancing for other companies. She was freelancing for companies across Europe and for M&S in the UK. And my father said, why are you making these things for other people? Yeah. You should be doing this for yourself. And they sort of fell into business together.
Oh, wow.
It was a real mum and dad outfit. It was real, in today's terms, you would be laughed at if you ran a business like that. But, this was the late 60s and things were very different. There was no internet, there wasn't faxes. People sent a letter.
Yeah. Those were the days, weren't they? I can't believe people used to manage, especially with all the technology at our fingertips now, and you know, the connections that we can make. I bet your parents had to work like so much harder than all of us do.
I don't know, because you know, we never switched off from our devices. We're always checking our emails, responding to emails. Well, the mail came at whatever time in the morning, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, whatever time, and at lunchtime. And once the mail had been, it had been, and anyone who had something to say had said it.
Yeah.
Or they made a phone call.
Yeah. Oh, I remember back in the day when it used to be twice a day. Now you struggle to get one once a day, don't you?
Exactly.
Oh, bless you. Well, take me back to your childhood. What was your earliest memory of kind of realizing, wow, you know, my mother owns this incredible brand?
I never really had that wow, because it's something I'd grown up with, not just grown up with the wow moments, but also the not so wow moments. And you know, I have this of being very little, and when I say my father tucked me under his arm, I literally mean, you know, under his arm, like with a case of samples in the other hand, and me sort of dangling out the other end from his other arm, and going to see customers. I remember one particular shop in Shaftesbury Avenue. Yeah. Very much geared towards serving the red light district of London, very much the Soho ladies. Okay. With this lovely buyer, you know, cherry red lipstick and the permed hair, and you know, I was sat on the counter and given a bag of sweets, and he showed her the range, and I just sat there and ate my sweets out the bag. And when it was over, you know, the sweets were put away, the samples were put away, I was picked up and off we went. Tucked back under again. What do you remember about like helping in the family business? Obviously you've touched on that just now with going to see buyers and things. My memories of helping, and I was involved from a very early age, but the first helping I did was to stuff mail outs. So again, mail outs is a thing of is a rarity today. We don't really get mail outs. We were bombarded by by email advertisements and Facebook and on our computers. But this was, you know, these were mail outs, and I remember being paid. Now I can't remember how much it was, and it wasn't a huge amount, but it was per 100. And I would sit on the office floor. I remember sitting there cross-legged. They had to be folded and put in the envelope, and that was very fast. That was the first sort of helping in the business. And from then I graduated very quickly by the time I was 10 to gifting in the bag, especially around Christmas time, when there were lots of people in our then accidental retail shop, because it was never meant to be a retail shop. Oh, okay. And that people would come there to buy presents, and they just weren't geared up for it. So suddenly, like, get the gift wrap, and I was taught how to do it. And I would be sitting in the back of my sort of Christmas holiday before actual Christmas started for us, Christmas started at 6 o'clock on the 24th, when the last customer had left the shop. Yeah. And I was thinking, so to this day, I am an excellent gift wrapper. It's the skills that you picked up, isn't it, along the way? Taught how to do it, and that stays with you. Yeah, definitely. So entrepreneurship clearly is in your blood. Has there ever been, did you always know that that was the path that you wanted to choose? Do you know what? Not really. I sort of fell into it. I wanted to be an actress, you know, when I was 6, I wanted to be a ballerina, but I wanted to be an actress. And I was told quite harshly by my father, I'm only 5'2", which you probably can't tell from me sitting down, but he was very harsh and said, you're not tall enough, your legs aren't long enough, you can't sing, you don't dance that well, and you'll be setting yourself up for a life of rejection. Oh. Bit hard. And I just sort of fell into the business. And I was good at it, and I enjoy business, and I enjoy working with people, and I enjoy meeting people, and I enjoy selling. And there are many aspects of it that I enjoy. and that I am good at. I'm not so good at sewing.
Okay.
And got to a point where I was just so involved and so committed that this is what I do. This is my life now.
It seemed like a natural progression.
Yeah, it was a progression. This is what I do.
Oh. So reading about your life, honestly, it's been absolutely fascinating. I've really, really enjoyed researching all about you. There's been so many highs, so many lows. I can't imagine how difficult it must be for you to like pinpoint one particular moment. So I've read a lot about the celebrity clients and the high-end clients such as Princess Diana. Is there one moment that really sticks out for you where you were kind of starstruck, or was it just normal to be around these people?
I know we always got excited when stars came. I remember when Pierce Brosnan would come into the shop to buy for his wife. It's James Bond, because that's James Bond. Or Mick Jagger would come and have a little chat with my mum, Rod Stewart. No, it was always exciting when celebrities came, and we never got that blasé about it.
Yeah. Is there anyone in particular that you'd looked up to before that ended up being a client of yours?
I've always been a huge Cher fan. I mean, who isn't a Cher fan?
Yeah, she's a legend, isn't she?
She's a legend. And she was the same then as she is now, and she was legend then, and she'd come in and she was tiny and polite and beautiful. Same with Tina Turner. So
wow.
These were women that I thought were legends, and they came in and they were still legends.
Mm-hmm. I think when you meet somebody that you look up to, and there's someone that's an icon, it makes them even more of an icon when they're such a beautiful person, doesn't it?
And sometimes you also meet people and they don't quite live up to their, but we won't say anything negative.
Oh, damn it. I was just about to ask you. Can you name some names?
Let's just say he's a player.
Oh, I missed that bit. Sorry, there was a delay.
Said he was a tennis player.
Oh, I shall get Googling. Obviously, everything that I've read has just blown my mind. But what I have learned, Aliza, is that you have suffered so much heartache and loss. And I was so sorry to read about that. Where did you draw your strength from in the darkest of times?
I think anybody that lives on this planet for a certain amount of decades will go through. We lose our parents, that is the natural progression. Yeah. Sadly, we have friends that die on the way, that is the progression of life. Marriages fall apart. I'm very lucky, my marriage is very strong, and I love my husband deeply. I've been very lucky there. But I think as we go through life, shit happens to all of us. And I don't think any of us get a free pass. And the older I get, the more I see, no matter how privileged you are, no matter how wealthy you are, no matter how successful you are, how loved you are, how pretty you are, all of these things, nobody gets away without some kind of challenge or loss or some kind of tragedy that happens to them, or ill health, or they have challenges and
life events
that are beyond their control. Sometimes they are within their control. Sometimes we create our own misery, and sometimes some of that is a learning curve for us, and sometimes things just happen. But whatever it is, I don't think anybody gets through life without some kind of heartache or challenge or breakup or
loss.
Something happens. It is some kind of, and we have to learn how to navigate and to learn that, yes, this is a really bad time, and I need to learn tools to get myself through this, and there is another, I will come out of this. It may take a day, a week, it may take a year, but I think with life's highs come life's lows.
Yeah. Definitely.
And I don't think any of us I've yet to meet someone that doesn't have some challenge in their life.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I love that answer. I think that's wonderful. I really do. So what would you say, because obviously we chatted previously about some really, really exciting things that you've got coming up with the company at the moment. Would you like to tell us a bit about those?
Well, we are very excited because we have a new home fragrance line, which is going to be launching to the trade at the beginning of March. So there's going to be a big for that then. I'm not quite sure of the date yet, but that's home fragrance. So lovely smelly things for the home, you know, for the drawers to put in your cupboard, diffusers, spritzers, and you know, the potpourri, all the things for the home to make the home smell beautiful. At the moment, we are doing a beautiful bed linen range, which is available at Next at the moment, but that range is being extended throughout the UK street. And we have a very exciting new launch of lingerie coming out in the summer. We're just finalizing that now.
Wow, it sounds brilliant. Is this the first time that you've kind of gone a different avenue with the business?
Well, this is the first home fragrance range. We've been doing bed for a very long time, and the lingerie, well, we had a little step back for a moment. We had a small range called Janet Reger Rouge. We stopped, that was just a toe in the water, stop that, and now we're relaunching with Janet Reger later this year in the summer, which is
so exciting.
Very new look, and it's something it's quite a new departure for us because it's very young. It's a very new look.
Oh, exciting times ahead for sure. What's the biggest challenge that you've faced business-wise so far?
God, there have been a few.
That's the nature of business, isn't it? It's like a roller coaster.
I think the biggest challenge, and that is ongoing, is to constantly reinvent yourself and to constantly do something new and constantly question what you do and improve what you do and find new angles and new ways of doing things. You know, there have been some massive challenges along the way, but once you've done that, you've come through a very hard time. Go, well, I did that. It was tough. It was difficult. We didn't know how we would get through it. I think you need to have an element of faith.
Definitely.
You need to sort of see it, feel it, visualize it, smell it, know that it will be better. But I think the challenge is to constantly evolve. Yeah,
definitely. And I think sometimes as well, I think the challenge can also be trying something that doesn't work as well. I definitely think that I've learned a lot from, you know, giving things a go that maybe haven't been popular or haven't gone very well, because it kind of spurs you on to do better, doesn't it?
Not everything does go your way. Unfortunately.
If you could go back to your younger self, what advice would you give to her?
I think in a nutshell, I mean, there's a lot of advice I would give to her, pages and pages of it, but we haven't got that much time. So I would say think more, trust less.
Oh, interesting.
And possibly, you know, hindsight is 20/20 vision.
Yeah.
I think I would tell my younger self to pay more attention, to be more careful.
Okay.
More detailed, be more analytical, to slow down, to really read the fine print, read just really into the nitty gritty, rather than, because I'm sort of the big pictures person.
Okay.
I'm the details. So I think I'd tell my younger self to pay attention more.
Okay. So is that from a personal point of view, or is that from a business point of view?
I think both.
Okay.
Because I think we carry our personality into our business.
Of course, absolutely. Yeah, definitely. Has there been that wasn't my question. I'd already asked in my other question, sorry about that. So what would you say is, what is the biggest takeaway from Janet Reger brand that you could say to somebody else, like a lady who's listening to this, that was embarking on a new business? What would be the best advice that you would give to her?
To be confident. Trust yourself, be confident. I think in business, if you come across as confident, that's half the battle won.
Yeah.
Even if, fake it till you make it. It's either you're quaking inside, as long as nobody else knows you're quaking inside, you're going to do it. You're going to be fine.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's difficult though, isn't it? Because even when you try to fake it, still a part of you. I mean, I don't know if you feel the same, because obviously you're so successful. Do you still feel like, do you ever get those feelings of, oh, what happens if I'm not good enough? What happens if this doesn't work? Do you get imposter syndrome?
Do you know what? I think we all have these feelings. I think we all have these feelings of, certainly, I won't say we have them all the time. And the more confident we become, I think the better we get at handling these feelings.
Okay.
But I think human beings in general have, or the vast majority of us, yes, there are those uber alphas out there that never question and never doubt, and I look at them and go, wow, I wish I could be like you. But I think as human beings, we do, am I right? Am I doing this okay? Have I done this right? Is this the right decision? I think it's normal to question.
Yeah.
And
it makes us human, doesn't it?
Yeah, it makes us human, and we all have these feelings of fear sometimes, and feelings of inadequacy sometimes, and I think that's not such a bad thing. That makes us who we are.
Mm-hmm. And I think it shows that we care as well.
Yeah, and I think it's very important. I think that empathy, that somebody else may feel nervous, or somebody else may be feeling just as scared as we may be.
Yeah.
You walk into a room and you think, oh my God, everybody's looking at me. But actually, everybody's feeling that as well. Yeah.
I think everybody's too busy feeling like that to even notice you walking in the room anyway, aren't they? It's difficult. It's like this unspoken, the unspoken truth. I think specifically to do with us as women, I think we harbour a lot of those feelings, don't we?
I think we do, but I think men do as well. They just possibly disguise it better or talk about it less.
Yeah, I think you're right, definitely. What are your personal goals for the future? Obviously, we know that the business is going in a really exciting new direction. You've got lots going on. Is there anything that you want to achieve personally outside of the business?
Do you know what? I want to be working and successful and earning and healthy, and just to lead a good life, to lead the best life I can for as long as I possibly can, with my family, my friends, and have fun and just have a good time for as long as it goes.
You see, some people have a bucket list of, I want to visit this country, or I want to.
Yeah, no, I have a bucket list and places I want to go to, but with this sort of last 2-year lockdown, I'm just glad to go anywhere right now.
Yeah, I think it's put everything into perspective for all of us, hasn't it? It's made us realise lots.
Where before go to Machu Picchu, and I wanted to go to Bali, and I wanted to go to here. And now I am so happy just to be back in Austria.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's certainly pressed the pause button for a lot of us, and I think when we were stuck inside for such a long time, it was kind of, it really forced us to look within and realize what's really important. And like you say, it's being around the people that you love, and it's spending time with them.
You know, somehow lockdown has taught us that, or taught me certainly, if you've got a roof over your head, a job, an income, food in your fridge, and someone to love you, you're doing well.
Absolutely. That's just wonderful. Well, on that note, Aliza, it's been absolutely wonderful to talk to you.
Thank you.
Lastly, before we go, could you just tell our listeners whereabouts they can find out more?
The lingerie will be sold online, but it's not until the summer, and there will be a website. It will be on Next. It will be on the main UK distribution channels, also in Europe as well. But I don't know exactly yet who. But Next, probably Zalando, very likely, and Summers. I can't say exactly which retailers. The bed linen is available now at Next, and that will be extended out to further retailers. And again, I don't know the retailers as yet that will be selling the home fragrance. Yeah, but it will be widely available, and it will be available on our website.
Wow, that's great. Okie dokie. Well, it's been absolutely lovely to talk to you. And thank you very much for coming on. I shall speak to you soon.
Speak soon. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye. Bye.